This is a video that I was really hoping that I didn't have to make. I did not pass the Step 2 exam. I failed the Step 2 exam. I will be writing the Step 2 exam again in the next few months. I'm not sure how the preparation of my schedule is going to be now that I'm working a lot more with residency. Hey everyone, just checking in. Feels like it's been a really long time since we've done one of these, but it's Friday morning, 1:30-ish. Just finished my last shift in the emergency room for this week. And it's Friday, so there's only 4 more days left until we write Step 2. So I'm gonna be studying today, a little bit more before I go to sleep, probably another hour and a half, call it bed by 3 o'clock maybe. Then I'll do Friday night, then I'll do Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then the exam's on Tuesday. We are about 75% done the UWorld test bank here. But if you include reviews, I'm well over 4,000 questions done at this point. And I have all my notes and I have my coffee ready to go. So this last weekend is gonna be an all or nothing, Hail Mary, study like I've never studied before and just get ready for Tuesday. So if this is your first time coming across one of my videos, it's nice to meet you. My name is Gianluca, aka Dr. Calcagno, and I'm a first-year family medicine resident working and studying in Canada, but not today because I'm actually down in South Florida for the next 2 weeks visiting some of my family and my nonna for the Christmas holidays. This is me on the other side of the Step 2 exam. Now, for those of you that have seen one of my videos before, then you probably know that this was actually my second time writing the Step 2 exam. I wrote Step 1 last April and I passed that exam. Then I wrote the Canadian licensing exams the next month in May. And then I tried to write the Step 2 exam immediately after the Canadian boards, so that would have been June, before they increased the passing score of the exam. But what I learned, and what every single international medical student should probably take away from my experience, is that you cannot effectively prepare for the Step 2, at least in my opinion, given the schedule that I was given before, in a few weeks. 3 weeks to 4 weeks just wasn't enough time for me. And ever since I got my score back, I made a video, I talked about it here on YouTube, and I had a whole bunch of people message me about it. And needless to say, this was definitely one of, if not maybe my single biggest academic failures of my entire life. It was a humbling experience, and it was something that ever since then, I really just needed to fix. Originally, I wrote the exam for all of the motivations that I talked about before, and those being that I wanted the step exams in case I ever did need to come down to the States, and in case the rules ever changed such that you were required to have the exams at some point. But then after I got my score back, I really realized that I needed to pass that exam for me. And there was so much that I think at the time and still now that Canadian students and international students could probably learn from doing the exams. So I committed to getting ready for it, and studying for a Step 2 at the beginning of my residency has been one of the most challenging, crazy experiences of my life. The last few weeks have not been fun. It has pushed me to my mental limits. It's pushed me to the limits of what I could do, and it hasn't been a healthy time. Wasn't sleeping, wasn't getting in the gym as much as I wanted to, or as training as hard as I wanted to. The diet kind of fell through. It basically, I felt and still do feel terrible. I'm trying to recover right now, but it was necessary. I had to put in that time. I had to study. And finally, I had to write the exam, and that's why I wanted to make today's vlog to show you guys how it went and maybe talk a little bit about it. Guys, when I woke up this morning, I was so tired, but now it's just caffeine and a dream to keep us going. I don't know if you saw the step 1 exam. Maybe we'll start with that, my vlog that I did there. But that's actually one thing that I changed, is I halved the amount of coffee that I'm bringing in. Before I did the full liter, so the 32 ounces. This time I'm only doing about 500, and I'm trying to use it sparingly, because I was peeing all the time last time. So it's a double-edged sword with the caffeine. But I am, you know, thoughts before going in there. I am so hyped to go in there right now. I didn't sleep much last night, about 3 to 4 hours, and the last few months, 2 months, have been some of the most sleep deprived time that I've ever had. It's been terrible until you've experienced the prep for the USMLE exams, step 2 in this case for me. You don't know what it's like, especially in terms of if you got residency and other stuff going on too. But you did the prep, and you did everything that you possibly could up until now. So it doesn't matter how you're feeling last night. It doesn't matter what you scored on your practice exams. When you get here on test day, you have to be hyped. There's no other way around it. You have to be sure of yourself. I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to give this thing the absolute best shot that I can. And I could do it. I know I could do it. That's all there is to it. Seven to go. Going in for hour 9 and the last section of this exam. I don't even know what hour my eyes got bloodshot. But almost done. Okay, test reaction coming up in 3, 2, 1. Who the hell came up with a 9-hour exam? Why? Oh my. I can't even remember what was on that last section. But we're done. It's finally over. And hopefully the second time was the charm. Reactions from the exam, I felt kind of good moving through it, I think. I finished all the sections on time. There were a few 50-50 kind of toss-ups that I quickly looked up after I walked out of there. Some hard ones that I just kind of had no idea, gave them my best shot. But I was so much more prepared this time than the first time that I wrote it, and all you could really do is give it your best shot, and that's what we did. I feel so good. I feel so good. It feels like there's like this huge weight that's lifted off me right now, and I want to know how I did. Like, the euphoria will stick now for a little bit, but I don't know what's gonna happen in the next few days coming up after. It's really funny, actually. I was going to make a comment in this second part, in this little reaction now, saying that to me, the USMLE Step 2 is just so much more difficult than the MCC QE1 exam, the Canadian exam. In my opinion, the Canadian exam is this little baby exam where, like, I found it so easy in comparison to that. If I put the amount of time and effort studying into this American exam that I would have for the Canadian exam, the score I would have gotten would have been incredible. But then, all this to say, when I walked out of there now, I just was speaking with an international medical graduate that told me that they found the Canadian exam so much harder than the USMLE Step 2. So I really don't know what that means. This was hard. This was really hard. Our medical system here, education-wise, doesn't teach the way that this stuff is. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm so glad that I did this, why I did the Canadian and the American exams. There's a few reasons why I ended up doing both sets of the exams, but I really need to pass this one to really kind of stamp that this kind of section of my life is done. I want to be done with this exam 9 hours writing is terrible, and I never want to have to do this again. Okay, last little section of the video now, guys. These last 2.5, 3 months, I had to take a break from YouTube. I haven't been making videos regularly for at least the last month and a half, coming up on 2 months now, and I hate that. So I'm going to be back in the new year. I'm going to take a little bit of time off now for vacation. I leave for Florida tomorrow to go and visit some of my family, and as soon as I come back in January, we're going hard with all the videos that we're going to be making, and also getting back to residency and all the other stuff. But I've never felt more unhealthy in my entire life. I'm telling you guys, the preparation that I did, that I didn't sleep, couldn't eat healthy, couldn't really go to the gym and train as hard as I wanted to. I was used to doing things a lot better. I really beat myself up for this thing. Like, I really pushed myself to the absolute limits in my capacity anyways, doing residency and this and teaching at the school and whatever else I was doing at the same time. So this is really just a big weight to have lifted off my shoulders, and it's really good. So thank you so much for sticking around and for coming out for the ride. I don't know if I'm ever going to do a video after this going over my score for it. I feel like I've done enough videos on my step 2 experience that I don't just want to keep beating up a dead horse. And unless you really want to see it. If people really want to see what I got on this exam after, you could put that in the comment section below. Ask any questions you want. If enough people want to see it, then I'll do a score reveal or something like that afterwards, and we'll see how we did. Hopefully I passed. But thank you all so much. If you're getting ready for this exam, no matter what score you're going after, either you're just trying to pass it or you're going for a 260, 270 and above, you know, I wish you all the best of luck with it, and you can do it. And then give yourself a break afterwards, because you're gonna need it. We'll see you guys all in the next one. I'm back. Everyone take care.